Express is one of the busiest trains in the island of Sodor. The train is usually pulled by Gordon, the big engine. Every day, Gordon takes the express all the way from Knapford Station to the big station at the end of the line. He loves spinning along the line. The passengers sing his praises and would always arrive at the station right on time. Sometimes when Gordon is needed elsewhere, Henry, Boko, Bear or Murdoch take the express, and they do it very well. Besides the express, there's also the local passenger run. Now, the local can only stop at each station along the main line. Molly likes pulling the local, and she enjoys puffing through the beautiful countryside and whistling to other engines as she passes by. One day, Gordon was getting ready to pull the express, while Molly was waiting for her passengers. You know, for a shunting engine like you, I'm surprised they ever allow you to pull passenger trains, huffed Gordon, glaring at Molly. I don't mind pulling the local, said Molly quietly. I actually enjoy pulling it. Sometimes it makes me feel important, just like pulling the express. Rubbish, snorted Gordon. The local run is nothing like the express. On the main line, the tracks are clear and there's no stopping for me. Unlike you, you're only allowed to stop at each station, which makes you slow. But it is important. And I'm not just a shunting engine, you know. Back then I was... Ha! Huffed Gordon. You're not fit to pull the express and you never will be. Before Molly could say anything, the guard blew his whistle and Gordon snorted away, leaving poor Molly feeling very hurt. A few moments later, after finishing her local run, Molly was in a siding, feeling very sad. Just then, Henry pulled in. What's the matter? Asked Henry. It's Gordon, sobbed Molly. He thinks I'm not fit to pull the express, and the local is nothing like it. Molly began to cry. Henry wanted to cheer her up. Why don't you come with me to the forest? That always cheers me up. Molly felt a little better, so she followed Henry to the forest. The forest is one of Henry's favorite landmarks. The sound of the wind beneath the trees, the birds singing, and the beautiful flowers blooming around. Molly was impressed. This is beautiful, said Molly. You know, seeing this reminds me of the time when I used to take the express to the forest and the seaside. You were an express engine? Asked Henry. Well, technically I was a private engine. I used to take special express trains to special places on the mainland. But then my owner brought in another big engine, and he was much better than me, and boasted that he was much faster and stronger than me. What happened? Molly sighed. My owner decided I was no good, and I was put in a shed never to come out, and was left behind. That wasn't until the Fat Controller purchased me to do shunting work on his railway. Although it would be nice to pull longer trains again, just like pulling the express. Henry felt sorry for Molly. I know what you mean, sighed Henry. Back when I was in my old shape, I was worried the Fat Controller was going to replace me with another big engine. But after coming back from crew, I was much better than before, and I was given the chance to pull the express, he said happily. Molly felt sadder still, but Henry smiled. Don't worry, I'm sure the Fat Controller might give you a chance to pull the express someday. Just then, Molly saw some children by an old tree holding hands. What are those children doing? Asked Molly. Oh, that's the old wishing tree, replied Henry. Children like to come here and make a wish, and hoping that would come true someday. A wishing tree, smiled Molly. How exciting! Do you think you can make my wish come true? Well, it might, said Henry, trying not to hurt Molly's feelings. But sometimes Before Henry could answer, his driver interrupted. Come on, Henry, time to go. We have to go to the sheds to get some sleep for tonight's kipper run. Oh, alright, sighed Henry. Sorry, Molly. I'll see you tomorrow. And Henry chuffed away. As Henry left, Molly puffed slowly next to the wishing tree. She closed her eyes and made her wish. I wish with all my puff to pull the express just like Gordon and Henry, she said to herself. That evening, when Molly came to Knapford Sheds, the Fat Controller was waiting for her. Tomorrow I would like you to pull the express, said the Fat Controller. I know you could do it, and hope you will be on time too. Molly was excited. Thank you, sir, smiled Molly. Her wish had finally come true. The next morning, Molly was up early and was very excited. Come on, let's go, encouraged Molly to her driver and fireman. Calm down there, girl, chuckled her driver. There's plenty of time. But Molly was just too excited. The fireman got Molly's fire all warmed up, and Molly steamed away to collect her coaches. At Knapford Station, James was shunting Molly's coaches to the platform. As she backed down to the coaches, Molly was too distracted. She gave her coaches a bump, and the coaches hit James. Ow! Snorted James. Watch what you're doing! Oops, sorry, Molly said quietly. She felt very embarrassed. The people got in, the porter banged the doors, and once everything was ready, the guard blew his whistle and waved his flag. Molly puffed out the station. But as she pulled for the platform, her coaches bumped and bashed from behind her. Gently now, called her driver. You're not pulling trucks or the local today. Sorry, called Molly as she continued on her way. Molly puffed through the countryside. This brings back so many memories, puffed Molly happily. But then there was trouble. Oh no! Cried Molly. Up ahead was Duck with his trucks. We're gonna hit him! Brakes! Brakes! Her driver quickly applied her brakes and she came to a stop. Oh dear, Duck, I'm sorry, said Molly sadly. I did see you there. Sorry? Duck was puzzled. But I was the one with the red signal, not you. Molly felt foolish, and the passengers were cross. Oh no, now I'm going to be late! With that, Molly chuffed sadly away. Meanwhile, Gordon was at the works being mended. He was miserable, and missed pulling the express. I hope I'll be back in action soon, moaned Gordon. I could already imagine my passengers missing me. Later, Molly finally reached the big station, but she was very late indeed. The passengers were furious. They told everyone what a bad railway it was. The station master was cross too. You're 10 minutes behind schedule, he said crossly. I'll have to report this to Sir Topham Hatt. Molly felt terrible. That evening, when Molly arrived at Knapford, the Fat Controller was waiting. He was cross. There's no stopping while pulling the express, said the Fat Controller sternly. Plus, you have to be gentle while pulling out of the station. Express coaches are not like trucks. I hope things will be different tomorrow. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, replied Molly sadly. And she puffed away. She passed through the work shed and then stopped. Molly was surprised to see Gordon at the work shed, being checked over by the workmen. What's he doing there? Molly thought to herself. Has he broken down? Then, Molly thought of something. What if my wish was to send Gordon not to be mended, but to be sent to the scrapyard? That night, at Knapford Sheds, Molly couldn't sleep. What if my wish does come true? She said quietly to herself. What if the Fat Controller does scrap Gordon, and everyone will blame it on me? Molly was worried. The next morning, Molly was getting ready to pull the express, but she didn't get any sleep the previous night and was very tired. As she was backing down her coaches, she was about to fall asleep. Molly, stop, stop! Whistled Henry. Molly woke up and bumped into the coaches hard. Sorry. Henry could see that Molly was very tired. Is everything alright? Asked Henry. You look like you didn't get any sleep last night. Molly turned to Henry. Oh, Henry, I've made a big mistake. I made a wish at the wishing tree, and now Gordon is being checked over, ready to be sent for scrap, and it's all because of me. Henry was puzzled. What wish? Then, Molly had an idea. Maybe if I go back to the forest and find the wishing tree, I can change my wish and wish to pull the local again, said Molly. Once everything was ready, the guard blew his whistle, and Molly chuffed quickly away. Then Henry started to realize what Molly meant. Oh no! Cried Henry. Wait, Molly, stop! There's something you need to know! But it was no use. Molly was gone, and Henry was worried. Soon, Molly arrived at the forest to find the wishing tree. Oh no, gasped Molly. Which tree is the right one? Molly didn't know, so she decided to wish on all the trees. I wish I could pull the local again, she huffed. The passengers were starting to grow impatient. What's the hold-up? They shouted. Come on, Molly, called her driver. We're going to be late again. But Molly wasn't listening. I wish I could pull the local again. 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 I wish I could. Molly! Said a stern voice. Molly stopped. It was the Fat Controller who was on board the train. He was cross. What are you doing, Molly? Scolded the Fat Controller. This is causing confusion and delay. I don't want to pull the express anymore, sobbed Molly. And she explained her wish to the wishing tree and Gordon. After I saw what was happening, I wanted to wish it all back, so Gordon won't be sent for scrap. I'm very sorry. The Fat Controller stared. Then he laughed. Oh, Molly, that is not entirely true, said the Fat Controller. The reason why Gordon was sent to the works is because he's being repaired, and he'll be back to pulling the express tomorrow. So, he's not going to be scrapped, sir? Asked Molly. Of course not, told the Fat Controller. But you should know better that wishing doesn't run a railway. That's my job. Molly felt foolish. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know. Well, now that things are settled, continued the Fat Controller, if you can please get these passengers to the big station. We mustn't be late. Yes, sir, replied Molly happily. All right, Molly, called her driver. Let's show the Fat Controller that you still got it. Peep, peep, whistled Molly, and off she went. Molly puffed quickly across the main line. Her wheels spun, her pistons pumped, and her boiler bubbled. Emily was pulling her local passenger train and had to stop at a signal. When she saw Molly puffing by with the express, she whistled with joy. Well done, Molly, whistled Emily. Molly continued on her way. Bridges and stations passed by, the passengers cheered, and before long, Molly whooshed into the station. When the agents saw Molly with the express, they whistled and cheered for her. Molly smiled. Later, the Fat Controller spoke with her. "Well, John," said the Fat Controller, "how would you like to pull the express sometime?" Molly chuckled. "Thank you, sir. But I think it's better that I stick to the local from now on." The Fat Controller agreed. That evening, Henry spoke with Molly. "I'm sorry I got you mixed up with all this wishing nonsense," sighed Henry. "I didn't mean to get you into trouble." "It's all right," smiled Molly. "At least things are now back to normal." And she was right. The next day, Gordon came back from the works and was happy to be pulling the express again. And Molly was back to pulling the local. Now Molly likes to go to the forest whenever she's feeling upset and sees Henry every day. Her driver gets permission from the signalman and signs a special book. One of Molly's favourite spots in the forest is the old wishing tree. Even though wishes don't always come true, Molly would always close her eyes to make a wish, just in case.